Hello everyone, we are from group 4 and we are about to represent our work, our blending, compounding, phrasal words, and word structure. My name is Nadya Anjani Putri Hermawan and I'm going to tell you the words formation without affixation. Before we dive into affixes, we have to know what is root word. In short, root word is a basic word that has affixes added to it. To be more specific, these items are used to create more complex words with a different meaning. For example, the word love is a root word. It cannot be broken down into anything more straightforward, as no prefixes or suffixes have been added. However, if you take the word lovely, you will notice that it contains the root word love. But lovely has a different meaning to the word love, but is still related to the love, hence it's called root word. And affixes broken up, and affixes broken up into two separate groups, which is prefixes and suffixes. The former is short, dependent item that added to the beginning of a root or root word. On the other hand, suffix is a dependent item added to the end of root word. For example, if you look at the word friendly, we will notice the root word friend, the li on the end is described as suffix, as it changes the meaning to the word. And the re and this hyperactive is described as prefixes and can be found at the beginning or another word. And next slide can be described by my friend. Thank you.
My name is Saffana Aulia Fauzi and my last 3-digit number is 112, and I'm going to explain about blending. So blending is a kind of compound where at least one component is really reproduced only partially. So the simplest example is smoke, which is a blend from the word smoke and fog. And then the second one is chordal, which is a blend from chuckle and snort. And then there's the other one is partial blends where only one component is shortened. One of the two example is talkathon or talk and marathon. And then the second one is cheeseburger, cheese plus burger. And then for the second one, there's acronym. Basically, that's a blend made of initial letters. These are the three examples: NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. And the second one is RAM, Random Access and Memory. And then the third one is AIDS, Acquired Immune Deficiency Syndrome. Next.
Okay, hello, my name is Nadya Rahma with the last 3 digits number is 116, and I will tell you about compounding. Compounding is a joining of two separate words to produce a single form. In compounding, separate in 6 or maybe 5 sub. The first one is compounding versus phrase. This pattern of semantics contrast between expression traits in different phrases is quite common. As in the following example, blackboard with the space in the middle, meaning that is black, and blackboard in the one sentence. The meaning of board for writing on. The second one is silkworm with space, means that we're made of silk. And the second one is silkworm with one sentence, means caterpillar that spins silk. The third one is White House, and the White House with capital letter in the beginning of White House. The meaning is of residence of the U.S. president. The second one is compound verb. The third one is compound adjective. There is almost no limit for the kinds of combination of compounds that appear in English as the following. that was the example of verb and verb, noun verb, adjective verb, and preposition verb. The third one is compound adjective. The example is non-adjective, adjective, and preposition adjective. Next. The fourth is compound nouns. Have four soup, verb noun, noun and noun, adjective noun, and preposition noun. And headed and headless have two subtopics. The first one is headed compounds, or as called endocentric. They are a type of compound in which one member function as the head and the other one as the modifier. In other words, the meaning is determined by the head of the compound. For example, is doghouse, kind of house, blackboard, kind of board, and blackbird, kind of bird. Second one is headless compound, or exocentric. Compound words where the meaning is not specified by any of the parts. In the other word, compounds that lack head. For example, flat foot is not a foot. Still life is not kind of life. Big pocket is not a kind of pocket, and low life is not kind of life. Okay, next.
Well, I'm Yanda Fercayanti. My last student number is 119. So here I will tell about compound containing bone combining forms. That the most of the compounds that we have looked at so far involve roots that are free forms, but the vocabulary of English, especially in scientific and technical areas, includes a huge repertoire and compounds that are made up from roots known as combining form. So in the example is anthropology. The anthrop means human plus logy means science or study, yields a word that means science or study of human beings. So the semantic predictability is crucial to the coining of new technical terms using these elements. Apart from containing bone roots, anthropology differs in two other ways from most common nouns. First, it has a central linking vowel O that cannot conclusively be assigned to other roots. In this respect, it resembles many combining form compounds. And the second is, although it is a noun, its stress is not on the first element unless the linking O belongs there. We encountered bone roots that could function as a base for derivational affixations such as out inaudible, audition, and etc. So not surprisingly, some combining form can function in this way too. In other words, the dividing line between combining form and other bone roots is not sharp. For example, is soci and electro that is much more commonly in social and electric. Given that combining form and the compounds that contain them are so atypical of compound in general, it is natural to ask how English has come to acquire them. Next.
All right, my name is Rifqi Ramzi and my last three-digit student number is 120. Now I will explain you about phrasal words. Phrasal words are complex items that function as words, yet whose internal structure is that of a clause or a phrase rather than of a compound. An example of phrasal word is the noun Jack in the box. Structurally, this has the appearance of noun phrase in which the head noun Jack is modified by a prepositional phrase in the box, exactly parallel to the phrase people in the street, or book on the shelf. However, it forms its plural by suffixing s not to the head noun, as in books in the shelf, but to the whole expression. Not Jacks in the box, but Jack in the boxes. As in they jump up and down like Jack in the boxes. Though structurally a phrase, but it behaves as a word. There are also phrases other than noun phrase constitute phrasal word. For example, dyed in the wool, that is an adjective phrase, and couldn't care less, that is an verb phrase. Those two examples also behave as a word rather than a phrase. Next.
Hi, my name is Sheila Dwi Rahmawati with the last digit number 108. So, a common word is one whose stem contains more than one root, not just a fix. No, it's not just a root with an affix. For example, here, the word underload has two roots, that is down and load with an affix here on. Next. The head of a compound word is the morpheme that determines the synthetic category of the entire word. Viewpoint is a noun, so office is the head. Next. Compound can be represented in English with an intervening space, a hyphen, or no break at all between the roots.
So let me introduce myself. My name is Zavier Satria. My last digit number is 123. And for the next topic is mismatches between structure and meaning. So when we make a phrase or a sentence, we must follow the grammatical structure. But sometimes there are mismatch between the meaning and the structure of the word or the phrase. So in this section, we will discuss about the mismatch between the meaning and the structure. For example, we have nuclear physicist. Both of them have the nuclear is the adjective and the physicist is the noun. So, but based on a structure, just in the linguistic structure, the phrase itself, it explains only about physicist who is a nuclear. On the other hand, by semantic, it means physicist who is an expert in nuclear physics. The both meaning make us very confused, so there is a way for us to easy to understand the phrase or the sentence. That way, it is called bracketing paradox. Bracketing paradoxes are defined as construction for which two incompatible structural analysis are required in order to simultaneously explain both morphosynthetic or semantic properties of a word. We can make bracketing paradox with use of bracket symbols in each word. In morphology and syntax, for example, it's the nuclear and physicist. The nuclear and physicists, they are separated. In semantic, there are nuclear physics and ist is separated. So the affix ist isn't attached in a word or root, but in the phrase of nuclear physics. In a special case, we already understand the meaning of the word without bracketing paradox. For example, there are plastic surgeon and chemical engineer. Those phrases meaning we could predict it without using bracketing paradox because both of the words are familiar and similar. That's all from our group presentations. Thank you.